Welcome back to Cash and Sass, the podcast where we ditch the shame, talk real numbers, and build bold, bankable wealth without sacrificing who we are. I'm your host, Lisa Marie, fractional CFO, money mentor, and the sassy wealth queen behind Transcendent Wealth Co. If you're ready to scale with strategy, own your power, and finally feel wealthy in every sense of the word, then you are in the right place. In this episode, we're talking about the real cost of financial fog, not just in your business, but in your energy, your confidence, and how you show up as a leader. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Y'all, financial fog doesn't usually show up as a crisis. It doesn't look like bankruptcy. It doesn't even look like bounced payments. It doesn't look like everything is falling apart. Instead, it looks like this. You're making money, you're functioning, your business is operating, but you feel a constant low-grade pressure. Money is always somewhere in your mental background, even on good days. And because nothing is technically wrong, you assume that this is just normal. I have news for you. It isn't. The first cost of this financial fog is your mental bandwidth. When money isn't clear, it consumes cognitive space. You replay decisions after you've already made them. You recalculate purchases in your head over and over again. You hesitate longer than necessary. You might be in a meeting, at dinner, even relaxing, and part of your brain is running numbers in the background. I'm a numbers person, and I have replayed decisions after I've already made them. I've been in this position. How many of you, think about it, have done that, have replayed decisions after you've already made them, or recalculated purchases in your head, or hesitated longer than necessary, or been in a meeting, at dinner, or just sitting down relaxing on the couch, and part of your brain is running numbers in the background? That's mental bandwidth you could be instead using for creativity, strategy, presence, or growth. But instead, it's tied up in uncertainty. And over time, that constant background processing creates fatigue. Y'all, it creates serious fatigue. And it doesn't create fatigue because you're weak. It creates it because your brain doesn't have closure. And guess what gives it closure? Clarity. I know, I say this over and over again, don't I? Clarity is everything. Clarity gives it closure. Fog keeps everything open. The second cost of this is decision fatigue. Here's something most entrepreneurs don't connect. Financial fog makes every decision heavier. Think about it. When clarity is low, even small financial choices feel amplified. Can I afford this software? Should I hire now? Is this investment smart? What if next month dips? What if next month dips a lot? Instead of confident decisions, you get prolonged deliberation. And prolonged deliberation drains your energy over and over and time again. When you don't have context, everything feels like high stakes. Everything. And instead, when you do have clarity, decisions shrink to their actual size. So instead of being humongous or feeling humongous, they come down to their actual size. which y'all reduces stress. How'd you know I was going to say that, right? Okay. The third cost is leadership erosion. Now, this is the one that people don't talk about. Financial fog erodes leadership confidence. Not publicly, but instead internally. Because you start doubting yourself, you overthink moves, you feel slightly behind even when you aren't. You might even hesitate when it comes to expanding, increasing prices, hiring, or taking time off. Because deep down, you don't feel grounded in your numbers. And leadership requires grounding. It requires you being grounded in your numbers. When your money feels unstable, or when money feels unstable, period, you are going to feel unstable. So when money feels unstable, you will feel unstable. Even if the instability is perception and not really reality, you're still going to feel unstable. So why does this happen even with good income? One of the biggest misconceptions is that more revenue fixes fog. It doesn't. In no way, shape, or form does more revenue fix fog. The fog just gets bigger. More revenue without structure amplifies fog. Again, it just gets bigger. Because now the numbers are bigger. So the stakes feel higher. The decisions feel more expensive. That, y'all, creates amplified chaos and amplifies stress. It amplifies everything but the good stuff. So here's the thing you need to realize. If you didn't build clarity at 10,000 months, so 10K months, you won't magically feel clear at 50K months. And I've said this time and time again. If you don't have clarity at your 10K months, which means you're managing your 10K months, you won't magically feel clear at 50K months. Y'all, income scales pressure. Clarity scales confidence. Those are two different growth tracks. Now, one of the things I want you to understand is income doesn't have to scale pressure if you have the clarity. That's the key. You got to have both. Those are two different growth tracks, but they go hand in hand, right? They help each other. Having that clarity takes away that chaos. It takes away that uncertainty, and it takes away that fog. So here's the shift I want you to take from this episode. Financial fog isn't about numbers. It's about unresolved decisions. So let me say that again. Financial fog isn't about numbers. It's about unresolved decisions. Fog builds when decisions are delayed, unclear, or constantly revisited. So instead of asking, how do I fix everything? Instead, ask, what financial decisions have I been avoiding or revisiting repeatedly? That's where the fog is the thickest. Maybe it's pricing. Maybe it's hiring. Maybe it's debt. Maybe it's taxes. Maybe it's an investment that you regret or an expense that feels off. Whatever it is, that unresolved loop is draining you. And again, look at it when you're asking without judging, without beating yourself up. This is just, it's asking to get clarity and to get the answer. I also need you to realize that clarity doesn't start with fixing everything. It starts with closing one loop. Okay. After this episode, you can do this. You can take 10 minutes, okay, and write down 3 money decisions that feel the heaviest right now. Then circle the one that is consuming the most mental space. Don't solve it yet. The only thing you're doing is naming it. Just name it. So again, you want to write down the 3 money decisions that feel the heaviest right now. Then circle the one that is consuming the most mental space. Don't solve it yet. Just name it. Because naming it reduces ambiguity. And that fuels fog. So we want to reduce it. Okay? When you identify the decision that's draining you, your nervous system will begin to settle, even before the numbers change. Why? Because knowledge is power. Because knowledge gives you clarity, and clarity reduces stress and reduces chaos and gives you the power. And those are things that you can change. It gives you the information to be able to make decisions. Why does this matter for wealth? Wealth isn't just income. That's why. It matters because wealth isn't just income. It's stability and it's confidence. It's emotional neutrality around money. If money constantly activates you, it's going to feel hard to feel wealthy, no matter your revenue. No matter what freedom you have, it's going to feel hard to feel wealthy. Financial leadership starts when you stop treating fog like background noise and start treating it like information. Y'all, I had to do this recently. I was ignoring a lot of fog, and then I had to stop. And when I recognized what was going on, these are the same questions I asked myself. I listed the 3, I circled the 1, figured out where that loop was, and started closing that loop. Then I go and look at something else. Got to start with 1. The reason why you want to stop treating it like background noise and start treating it like information is because information can be processed. Fog cannot. And when the information can be processed, you can move from financial fog to financial leadership. And that's not about becoming obsessive. It's about becoming intentional. Because now you know what this month requires. You know what's available. You know what decisions need your attention. Not perfection, but orientation. Because remember, you're not going to always get it perfect. When you're oriented, you're grounded. And grounded leaders make better financial decisions. Okay. This episode isn't asking you to rebuild your systems today. What I'm asking you to do is to recognize that if money feels heavier than it should, that weight has a source. And that source is usually one unresolved decision or one lack of visibility. Clear one of them. And I promise you the fog will start to lift. Until next time, remember, confidence and cash are the ultimate power duo. Go check in with your money, and as always, have a fantastic and wealthy day.